Hey Aries, this is Michael with your December 2022 reading. I want to wish you all happy holidays. To celebrate, I'm actually offering a sale on my website, so you can get all of my services, tarot readings, chart readings, and distance Reiki sessions for 20% off if you use the code Good Tidings. I'll be running the sale through at least the 21st. I might extend it, especially since these are coming out a little bit late. I do apologize for that. December really did just sneak up on me, and I don't know if it's Mars, which is actually your ruling planet, being retrograde, and it's just causing all of this executive dysfunction, and I feel like I'm doing all of these things all at once and I don't have enough time in the day. It's just been very hard to get things done. And I'm curious to hear from you, Aries, if you feel similarly, because again, your ruling planet is Mars. It's in your third house in Gemini, which is all about activity and communication. It might just feel like there's a lot going on, or your energy is very scattered. Definitely let me know. I did pull some animal cards here for you. We'll get to the tarot in a moment. And honestly, this just straight up feels like the astrology, because we had the camel card. Camel talks about journey and spiritual pilgrimage and kind of finding this reservoir within you. That's what I think of with camel. It's a very Sagittarian energy. Like I even say in some of my readings, like this is kind of like the Sagittarius card of the animal spirit deck. And then we also have the spider, which is working on something, weaving something, building something, and doing so in a very methodical way, and in a way where you are setting yourself up for future opportunities. And that is so just on brand with Capricorn season, especially for you being an Aries. It's just like, this is the time we are in. Going a little bit deeper, looking at camel and looking at spider, I do feel like both of these energies have kind of this aloofness. And with Mars being retrograde and just a lot of stuff that's happening, especially in the first half of December, I almost get the sense for you, Aries, you're just giving yourself space from the noise. There's a lot of people who are talking, there's a lot of chatter, there's a lot going on. And I feel like you are just wanting to go somewhere else, or you're checking out, or you are going somewhere else. You may be traveling or making plans to travel. And looking at the bottom of the deck, we actually do have the cosmic egg. And this is the crown chakra in the animal spirit deck. It is one of 7 spirit cards. And that's why I really do feel like you are getting away from the noise. That's something that's really, really interesting. And kind of aligns with the fact that we have Neptune going direct in the sign of Pisces. We do have Jupiter in Pisces for a good portion of the month until it actually enters your sign on the 20th. And so there is a lot of focus on your subconscious, on spirituality, on your inner world and your dream world. I do feel like you are marinating in these energies. And I feel like it's important for you to kind of give yourself space to focus on things that really matter. Because it's very easy to kind of get caught up in the drama or sort of the grind or whatever it is that's going on, getting caught up in the moments where you could really just get swept away and actually lose touch with the present. So I feel like there's something about you taking time and really getting present in yourself. And not for nothing, the Mars retrograde is especially loud right now. Mars is actually currently at the end of November opposite Venus and Mercury. And that's actually going to peak on the 1st of December, this opposition between Mercury in Sagittarius and Mars in Gemini. Or I'm sorry, this is Venus in Sagittarius and Mars in Gemini. There are other things happening too on the 1st. It's really just a busy first part of the month, if I could be so honest. And the moon is also in your sign, actually. So you are very sensitive. You are feeling things in a very deep way. And I think with the sun in your sign trining, or I'm sorry, the moon in your sign trining the sun in Sagittarius on the 2nd, harmonizing with the sun, there really is like you finding greater clarity by connecting to spirituality and by connecting to travel or connecting to another culture or another part of the world. These are things that are kind of a respite for you in this sort of chaotic period. And with all of this focus on Gemini, it's like there's just a lot going on. There's a lot of talks. There's not a lot of well thought out arguments. And it's almost like people who are just being stupid. Like, I'm just kind of being blunt with that, but people are not giving you well thought out arguments. They're kind of just like digging their feet in the sand. I'm sort of getting that energy, and that's why I feel like you're kind of like, you know what? I'll just let you do what you're doing over there. I'm going to kind of go off on my own, go on this journey, and I'm going to see what comes to me, what I can manifest, what I can create, what I can weave here. And especially with the full moon in Gemini on the 7th, that's when I really think it's just very loud. So I'm going to pull some tarot cards for you, Aries. I almost called you Sagittarius. I apologize. These readings have been pretty challenging for me this month, I'm not going to lie. And with Mercury going retrograde by the end of the month, we'll be in the pre-shadow period through the second half of December. There could just be a lot of miscommunications. You might be having a hard time getting your point across. And honestly, even Mars in Gemini is a bit of a challenging energy in that respect. So again, it is sort of a frustrating energy. But honestly, Aries, I feel like you are actually very aligned and very centered and very focused. And that's kind of how I've felt about this group throughout this year. With the Cosmic Egg, I feel like that's a card that's come up a few times. There's been a lot of you really stepping into your spiritual purpose. And I think that's going to become even more pronounced into 2023. What do we have for Aries? What do we have for Aries? You are reaping what you have sown, but this feels like there is something that has culminated. What you have worked towards in the past, or you've worked very hard for the fruits of your labor. Wow. And we have the World. Maybe there was some sort of opportunity that literally was a travel opportunity, or the opportunity to travel has come up for you with the Six of Pentacles and the World. Other people, this could be some sort of completion or some sort of ending of a cycle and graduating to the next level or to the next thing, the next phase of something. And it feels like now that you've done something, you've put in the work towards something, it feels like you're asking yourself, what next? And that answer might come with the full moon in Gemini on the 7th. We do also have Mercury entering Capricorn on the 6th, and that's followed by Venus entering Capricorn on the 9th. So again, there is a lot of energy that is kind of focused on work and your role in the world. Wow, King of Wands. Love to see this. Very fiery, very passionate energy. There's quite a bit of Leo energy here too, actually. But I really do feel like you have just overcome so much, and you are like this King of Wands or Father of Wands. The Father of Wands has gone through the trials of the wand suit and has come out bigger and stronger and victorious. And really connecting to the serpent energy as well. I'm seeing that with the Cosmic Egg. I thought I saw that in this World card, but kind of like the World Serpent sort of myth. I'm getting something with serpent energy, even though we didn't really get that in your animal cards. I feel like serpents are very important. This sort of shedding, this rebirth, this magic, this wisdom, this sort of charm. Whoa, that's too many cards. If I were to interpret that, it's again just this abundance of opportunities coming for you. We have the Lovers. This is coming up as a change or challenge. Tell me more about the Lovers here. Wow, okay. To be honest with you, Aries, I'm reading this as a challenge, and I know this is gonna piss a lot of you off. When I see the Lovers, it's like you have to commit to one thing. You can't commit to too many things this month. Um, because while the Lovers definitely does have that romantic connotation for a lot of people, um, I really do feel like it's about commitment. It's about a choice that you need to make, and you're trying to juggle things. And I feel like you know you need to make a choice. You need to decide. You need to commit to something fully. And for some of you, this could actually be involving work. Maybe you are working on a side hustle or have kind of something you have been developing behind the scenes, and maybe it's growing to such a degree where it's like you're kind of shifting your priorities, or you're shifting your priorities towards something that you really love. And these are general readings, so you might still be very early on where you are kind of doing something on the side or behind the scenes while maintaining something else. Maybe you're still in this juggling phase, but I feel like a lot of you are coming into this point where it's like you can no longer juggle between two things, or you will get to a point where you can no longer juggle between two things and you're going to have to commit to one thing. And that does feel like a challenge, because it's like there's such a world of opportunities. There's so much that you can do with what you are doing right now. Wow, judgment. Yeah, there's a big decision. You have a really big decision to make, Aries, and you know, um, it might be scary, but it's important that you listen to your heart and you listen to your soul. And especially when we have Jupiter entering in your sign on the 20th, there's a lot of growth here. There's a lot of expansion. You become very, very lucky. And there's been a lot that's been happening behind the scenes with Jupiter in Pisces, in your subconscious mind, in your dream world. You may have sensed that something was about to change. And we did actually have Jupiter in your sign, I believe, from May to July or August. You'll have to fact check me on that. You'll have to do a little Google search. But in 2022, we did have Jupiter briefly in your sign before it retrograded and went back into Pisces. So there could be something that is kind of full circle. And I did get that Leo energy, so maybe there's something that's full circle from like July to the end of August that is coming up again for you, which is really, really interesting. And I think that might even be more so the case when we have a new moon in Aquarius, or when we come into Aquarius season, because that's when we have the full moon in Leo. I'm sorry, I misspoke. That could be something that's kind of like a full moon or full circle moment. Jeez. Man. But we do have this judgment card here. And so I do feel like there is a big moment of decisiveness or awareness. There is a truth bomb that is being dropped, or there is a truth that you can no longer ignore. But this doesn't feel scary. It doesn't feel like a heavy or dense energy. It's like taking that leap of faith. That's really what I'm getting with this group. And 2023 is a pretty good year for you, Aries. There's a lot of focus and emphasis on your sign. There's a lot of growth that is happening, and it's like your turn in the spotlight. Especially in the second half of December, or I'm sorry, the second half of 2023, when we have the North Node going into your sign, but we do have Jupiter in your sign through the first half as well. So again, just a lot of growth, a lot of emphasis here. And with Mars retrograde right now, there's just a lot where it's like you are reassessing your priorities. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Am I just like stretching myself thin? That could be something that you're kind of wrestling with or reflecting on quite a bit. Is there anything else? I really want to pull like for specific transits, actually. I'm curious what exactly this Mercury retrograde is looking like for you. That is technically more January's reading, but okay, we have connecting with people, communication, friendship. And we have the Star. I feel like a lot of you are going to be longing to find soul connection, which is interesting. And it might almost feel like the people that you want to connect to are somewhere else. And you need to follow your intuition to find these people. Or you're finding kind of this soul family. Or just this kinship. It's important that you rely on the support and help of friends. Especially friends who are going to encourage you to pursue your dreams. And knowing that you don't have to do everything yourself. And you might even be, you might even come into a very useful contact or have a very serendipitous connection. This actually came up for the Pisces reading as well. So if you do have Pisces placement, that might be worth checking out the Pisces video. What's going on for relationships for Aries? I'm sorry, I know I jumped because I said I was going to do stuff with the planets. Let's actually look at, let's go to Jupiter and Aries. We do have the Ten of Cups, though. Maybe there is something about a relationship. I really do feel like, honestly, like, relationships are going to be really, really important. And the right relationships in particular. We do have a new moon in Capricorn. That's probably going to bring in opportunities with Three of Wands, perhaps new work, a new job, or it could just be an expansion of the work that you do that's opening up doors in some way. And the Magician, wow. Manifest on that new moon, especially if this is one where you are looking to do something completely different with your life. That's a really important new moon for you on the 23rd in Capricorn. Days after we enter Capricorn season. Jupiter is in your sign. Really, really interesting. Is there anything else that we should be aware of for Aries? We have your energy with the Emperor, which reminds me of this King of Wands. You really are coming into your power. You're coming into your purpose. And, you know, I feel like it's important for you to listen to a lot of motivational speakers this month. I'm kind of even thinking of like Brene Brown and how she's talked about how the most meaningful things that she has done in her life have terrified her. And I feel like that's kind of something you might need to be listening to. I'm even kind of hearing her speak as I'm describing this to you, and that's why I mentioned it. I feel like there's something really, really fucking exciting, Aries, and I think you just need to go for it. And it's like when you kind of fall, people will catch you. Trust the support system. And the support system might not even be people you know right now. It might not even be people at all for some of you. Maybe this is just the universe catching you or supporting you. And I know we've been very high vibe here. There's a lot in 2023 that's not going to make it an easy year for a lot of people. But with this specific group, I feel like you are coming into an extremely profound and beautiful and important chapter, especially for this next year. You just have to decide, you have to commit. I feel like I want something else. Trust your intuition, High Priestess. Anything else for Aries, any last words of wisdom, any advice from Spirit? Honestly, this feels pretty complete to me, but I just want to see if there's any other messages. Six of Cups. Reconnecting with the past, nostalgia, healing. I feel like you are really reconnecting to something that is core to who you are, a soul purpose that maybe you have not really connected to since childhood, or you're just coming back into yourself and healing in some way. Maybe some of you are actually traveling to an ancestral land or homeland in some way. I mean, it is the holidays, so that's maybe an obvious to some people, but that's just how that card kind of came out to me. But this could also be traveling to like a country or place that your ancestors originate from. That could also be something that's really healing to you. Whatever it is, it's like getting to the root of something, getting back to your roots feels really, really important. And it's like you've kind of always known what it is that you're supposed to do or what it is that you want to do. And it feels really, really exciting, Aries. Those are all the messages I have for you this month. I'm wishing you very happy holidays, happy new year. I may be posting a little bit more on my channel, so hit subscribe if you haven't done that already. I do have that sale on my website through the 21st at least, so if you want to get a reading or Reiki session or just start the new year off right, that could be a really great way to do that. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Aries.